whoa, okay. Okay, the fading in thing, I like, it's a good idea, but I gotta make sure everything arrives. Is everything's here? Okay, wait, everything? Yeah, we're good. Okay, whew, that's always so weird. Hey, Heart fans, I'm so glad you guys are here with me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys want to order a drawing from me, click the link down below. I do commissions. And if you want to learn how to pitch your cool, awesome show idea in Hollywood and maybe even sell that idea, get my brand new book, Mad Hustle. It's all about my experience in Hollywood over the last 30 years. I've crammed a lot of information in there about how to pitch shows and sell shows, and hopefully that will give you a lot of insight as to what the Hollywood experience is like. And the book will give you great tips as to how to get your amazing idea ready to go pitch to the major players in the entertainment industry, so check it out. All right, I'm in the ghost zone right now because we're talking Danny Phantom. You like Danny Phantom, Mr. Cameraman?
Oh, I love Danny Phantom.
You do?
Oh yeah, every day.
Wow, you love it every day?
I love it every day.
What about holidays? You like it on holidays?
No, I take a break then.
You do?
Yeah, I prefer Fairly Odd Parents then.
On holidays?
On holidays.
Okay. All right, so I gotta remember that. Dude, would you eat them with a goat? That's a green eggs and ham reference right there. A little Dr. Seuss. Thanks very much. Hey, so you like Dr. Seuss?
I love Dr. Seuss.
Really?
No.
No?
Yes.
Well, okay. See, I think you need to see a Dr. Seuss soon. So we're in the ghost zone, and we know we love Dr. Seuss, and Mr. Cameraman likes Danny Phantom. So we're talking Danny Phantom, that's right. So Danny Phantom, super popular show, and I'm so grateful that all of you out there have watched Danny Phantom and liked it over the years, and for the support you've shown the show over the years. I cannot thank you enough. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very much. And we've done a lot of Danny Phantom videos on this channel. Thank you for watching them. Check out my Danny Phantom 10 Years Later videos. I think you're going to really like those. But there's one particular Danny Phantom episode. Mr. Cameraman, do you have a favorite Danny Phantom episode?
Yes, I do.
What would that be?
The Ultimate Enemy.
The Ultimate Enemy?
My favorite.
Wow, okay, cool. Why is it your favorite?
I like the story and the plot significance.
The story and the plot significance, cool. So we're in the ghost zone. I've agreed to answer questions from Mr. Cameraman because I believe he represents a lot of the Danny Phantom fandom that's out there. What questions do you have for me about the Ultimate Enemy?
Oh gosh, wow. I have so much weight on my shoulders.
We have nothing but time, by the way. What's your question, Mr. Cameraman?
Okay, I guess how did you come up with the idea of the Ultimate Enemy?
How to come up with the idea for the Ultimate Enemy? That's a very good question. Well, the main reason for the Ultimate Enemy being in existence, the Danny Phantom special, we'll start right there. It is a special. And at the time, we came up with a concept. And by the way, it wasn't just me. It was me and my team of writers. We had some amazing writers on the show at the time. A guy named Steve Marmel. We had a guy named Sib with a B, Sib Ventris, and Marty Eisenberg. The four of us actually, with me in the room, we all came up with this idea because Nickelodeon came to us at the time. Danny Phantom was doing pretty well in the ratings at the time, and I think we're in season 2. And they said, we really want to do a special for Danny Phantom because the show's doing great, and we're like, great. So they wanted to make it an hour long. What does an hour long mean? In TV talk, an hour really means about 45 minutes because you need about 15 minutes for commercials. It was really prevalent. TV shows went on TV and they ran commercials, so you'd have X amount of entertainment, but you had to leave room for commercials for sponsors because sponsors pay for things. So anyway, we had to do a special, and we're like, great, so a 45-minute story. How can we do a Danny Phantom story that's 45 minutes long? We had to basically extend, normally Danny Phantom stories were 22 minutes long, Act 1, Act 2, with an act break in there with a commercial. So now we basically have to do a double-length Danny Phantom. What do we do? So we decided to, just kind of draw up on all of our comic book influences. I loved comic books at the time. I still do. There's some epic stories that I love from comic books. The Dark Phoenix saga from the X-Men. What was really cool about that is Jean Grey starts off as this young, innocent girl with, some powers. She has some mental powers, and she can move things with her mind and stuff. But as the story progresses throughout the entirety of the X-Men, all through the 70s, 1970s, her powers gain strength until she ultimately can't control them anymore. And she becomes this creature called Dark Phoenix who has to feed on planets to satisfy her thirst for power. And so turning this innocent girl into this dark character was a really cool story arc, I thought. So turning Danny, this bright-eyed, young, brand new superhero, into a dark character is sort of what we landed on. Plus, Danny Phantom was a show about ghosts. It was a show about dark characters trying to take over the light. Danny Phantom's the light in the darkness, and so that's kind of where the story stemmed from. So we started there. Any other questions, Mr. Cameraman?
Yes.
You have other questions?
I have other questions.
Wow. I wonder which doctor can handle this.
So, how did you come up with the whole backstory as to how Dark Danny came around?
You're asking these big questions. Like, you could have asked, like, why'd you make his boots, like, you know, white? You could have done something like that, but no.
That's my next question.
Whatever. I took the. All right, fine. All right. So the main thing is, whenever you're doing an epic story like the Ultimate Enemy, or you want to start the audience off with asking a question like, why did this happen? What's going on, and how do we get out of this? But as a writer, you better have answers. If you're going to introduce a big story point out of nowhere, because every story started off with Danny, Sam, and Tucker in high school, villain shows up, they defeat it, Danny learns something about himself and his powers. And so, but in this one, we started completely differently. We started off in the future. It starts in the future Amity Park, and Amity Park is basically a wasteland, but it's protected by a ghost shield. And you're like, what is this all about? And Valerie Gray, who was starting off in the show at that time as a young girl, ghost hunter, getting all of her equipment and abilities and things like that, learning how to hunt ghosts, she's the protector of Amity Park. And not only is she protecting Amity Park from whatever small thing is happening, apparently there's a very scary something out to get Amity Park. And what is it? She battles it. There's a big battle at the beginning. We really did a great epic storyboard at the beginning of The Ultimate Enemy. There was an amazing storyboard artist named Shant Nikagosian who boarded that whole opening sequence of The Ultimate Enemy. He's a fantastic storyboard artist to this day. I just think he's one of the best. We decided to, lead to revealing this ultimate bad guy at the beginning of the story. It's set in the future. There's this bad guy. Valerie's battling him. Who is he? It's revealed to be Danny Phantom, but a future version of him, and super, super evil. And then that is the hook where we get the audience, and then we go into our normal story of Danny Phantom, and then we sort of lead to, how Danny became this ultimate enemy, why he became that. And that's always a good way to hook an audience, is to introduce something unusual, something big, something amazing. What is it? How did it get that way? But have answers for the audience once you lead them down that road. Hopefully we had adequate answers, and judging by the reaction of The Ultimate Enemy, people do really like it. I really appreciate that. So hopefully we gave them the answers that they wanted. But you have more answers that you want, right, Mr. Cameraman?
That's right.
I'll give you 2 more questions. What are the other questions?
Only 2?
Oh, well, for now.
All right. How did you come up with Danny's most powerful ability, the ghostly wail?
The ghostly wail. At that time, we were trying to introduce a lot of cool things about Danny, different powers, different abilities, and things like that. I always liked adding something to the Danny Phantom, stable of powers. But in this one, we really needed something really cool and really different that we'd really seen no other ghost do. We saw other ghosts at that time shoot beams out of their hands. Danny could do that. Other ghosts could clone themselves. We saw Vlad do that, and Danny could do that, and things like that. But watching a ghost come up with an incredible shriek or an incredible howl, whether that was a really cool weapon that no one else had ever done. In fact, we even introduced it at the beginning of the episode, and this Danny Phantom character, the evil Danny Phantom, who we call Dark Danny. He's never called Dark Danny in the episode, by the way. That's just something that kind of came about after the episode aired. He has this ghostly wail at the beginning, and that's just the ultimate thing that can bring things down. So, but Danny discovering this power was really, really a cool way to defeat the Ultimate Enemy and also give that ability to Danny. So that was just a cool power. Like, what can ghosts do? They can go through walls, they can fly, they can do all these things. But what else can ghosts do? Oh, they can howl, they can shriek. So that's kind of where that came from. One more question.
Last one.
Mr. Cameraman.
All right, but last one. As for, this came out in the early to mid 2000s.
Yes.
And children's content, was relatively tame. And then The Ultimate Enemy kind of took a dark turn in terms of children's entertainment. So how did you, or why did you do that?
Why did we do that? Well, you know, we tried to make it. I wouldn't call it so dark. I know there's some, you know, I know there are some moments in the show that could be considered dark, like, you know, when Vlad rips Danny's body out of himself, that kind of thing.
Or when all Danny's families and friends blow up.
When all Danny's family and friends are blown up, yes, exactly. But the thing is, they're blown up, but then they're really not blown up because Danny saves them. You know what I mean? Danny's seeing one possible future, but then he writes it all and fixes it all to where that horrible future doesn't happen. It's kind of like the Terminator, which I guess is kind of dark too. So I guess it is sort of dark. But our intention wasn't to scare people or to or make anybody upset. That was never our intention. Our intention is always to entertain and to show that that good can conquer evil, and that's what I think we did in The Ultimate Enemy. We had to show the enemy being really, really bad and show the challenge that Danny was up against. But you know, it's like Luke Skywalker fighting Darth Vader. You know, Luke is tempted to become evil like his dad, but in the end he doesn't become evil and he stays good, and that's why Luke is Luke and Darth is Darth. In fact, Luke is so good, he makes Darth Vader turn good at the end in Return of the Jedi. So that's a cool character arc. It's just redemptive qualities are always good. And so hopefully we got those redemptive qualities across in The Ultimate Enemy. And you know, our intent was always to just entertain and do awesome stuff, and I think we came up with a really good story about a hero overcoming the ultimate darkness and staying good, and that's where Danny Phantom 10 years later can come in. The alternate universe I've kind of created with these other videos I've done, where we see, you know, 10 years later Danny Phantom, instead of turning evil, he looks amazingly heroic and great, and he's heroic and he saves the world and all that stuff. So that's what we're kind of leading to. So yeah, so hopefully, even though we had a story that I'll call intense, we still kept it as safe as we could and redeemed the hero at the end. And so that was our ultimate goal with The Ultimate Enemy. All right, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. What are your questions about The Ultimate Enemy or any other Danny Phantom episode? Leave the comments down in the comment section. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to leave the ghost zone now, but as always, I want to remind you that art and Danny Phantom gives you power. Use it wisely. Hey Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen. Click here to check out my other YouTube channel, the NOOG Network. Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.